The opinions expressed in this show are the views of the host and not necessarily that of WTRW, 94.3 The Talker, or the Bold Gold Media Group.
The following presentation is paid for by Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, who is solely responsible for its content. Portions transcribed.
All Century 21 real estate offices are independently owned and operated.
This is the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. Good morning. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, and with my husband, fellow realtor Pat Devaney.
Good morning, Jackie. How are you today?
Excellent. How are you?
Very good.
We have with us for the second week in a row, Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections.
Good morning. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I am doing fabulous.
I love that name. I think I said that last week.
House Standing.
Outstanding. There's a tagline with that, actually. It's like, why have a regular home inspection when you can have a house standing home inspection?
Excellent. Nice.
There you go.
Perfect. Love it. We're here every Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where we talk real estate. We have a full-time real estate office with many exceptional realtors who've been guiding, assisting, and advising clients in real estate matters for 50-plus years.
During the week, feel free to email us any questions you have at questions@jruddy.com. That's questions@jruddy.com, or you can give us a call at 570-344-6724. And when you go to jruddy.com, go to the webcam tab and click on that and get a view of Dunmore Corners and see what's going on. A couple of weeks ago, a woman came into the office and she goes, "Oh my God, this is on my bucket list. I'm finally getting to Jack Ruddy's office," because she's in Arizona and she looks at the camera.
She was in for the holidays.
Yeah, oh, she was so thrilled.
Yeah, she came back 2 days later because she didn't realize, but there was something wrong with her phone. She couldn't see the camera.
She was very upset.
Yes. So we got that straightened out. Look us up on social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest, and Instagram. View our listings, search the MLS listings, and listen to archive radio shows by going to mobilefriendlyjruddy.com, JRUDDY.com, where you can also find all the popular podcast apps that we feature the radio show on. Okay, Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections. Just a little brief summary about who you are and where you go, the areas you serve, please, for your home inspections, please.
Pretty much my areas contain of Pike County, Wayne County, Monroe County, and Lackawanna. So that's kind of like territory I'm kind of covering right now.
And your background?
Background
is extensive.
Very extensive. I kind of grew up in construction, family business, went to commercial construction also, Carpenters Union, pharmaceutical companies, so everything from just residential construction, building from the ground up, to building schools. So very diverse.
Okay. And you had a handyman company as well as a home inspection company.
Yep, fill in the gaps.
All right.
Easy and busy.
Okay.
Fill in the gaps?
Yeah.
That's right. You got cool names for your businesses.
All right.
No, it's Handyman Steve, actually.
Oh, okay.
No, it's fill in the gaps. I mean, as you know.
Oh,
I kind of do
I
both.
thought it was fill in the gaps. Oh, Handyman Steve, sorry.
Who doesn't need a handyman?
Everybody
right?
needs a handyman.
Everybody
Exactly.
needs a handyman. Okay, so that's good. So in home inspections, I think, with this market now and it's turning around, we're not going to see the bidding wars. We're going to still see multiple offer situations, I think, on certain types of homes and price ranges in certain areas. But I think the bidding wars are going to be gone and the no contingency contracts. I think they're going to fade away, and we're going to see people going back to home inspections. There's a lot of regret out there for the people that bought homes in the last 2.5, 3 years who waived inspections. They're finding out things, and I think it would have made a difference had they had a home inspection beforehand. People want to know what's wrong, even if they don't want to renegotiate the price for that buyer. They need to know what they're going to be looking at: budget, money, set aside things, and what their projects are going to be. Who wants that surprise that the boiler you need to replace or the roof is shot? Who needs that? Wants that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Pat, you had a few questions.
Yeah, I was just showing a house to someone a couple of weeks ago, and the house was it was a flip. And it was not the best. But this person, my buyer, has a certain budget and really can't go over the budget. So they can't buy this house and then come back within the next 2 years and do $50,000 worth of repairs. So people get so emotionally involved with this that they have to have it, they have to have it, they have to have it. But I told them, I said, listen, this is the type of home that you really need a thorough inspection, because at a glance, I'm spotting a lot that's wrong. So flips absolutely need the inspection. And the one thing I wanted to ask you about, because we'll probably talk about flips a little more, what's the most common deficiency you see when you're doing an inspection? What is the most common thing?
I would say two of the most common is, and they kind of really go back and forth, is really your foundation. It's kind of like delaminating, you're parging, it's separation. So you have some water intrusion kind of coming in. You can definitely see the deterioration of the block itself. And obviously water intrusion is going to come in, it's going to create possibly a mold condition, depending if the elements are right down there as far as humidity is concerned. That's one of the biggest things. And also roofing. Same thing. Yeah, I can tell you how many exhaust fans I have found just being exhausted into the attic, which is, again, causing a mold issue or delamination of your sheathing and whatnot, because you create moisture in there. So it's, it's not, and you got to go back and forth. And it could be the roofing itself. Shingles, deteriorating of age. I just actually recently just had a roof. Not there was a lot wrong with it, but it was a slate roof.
Oh,
and
slate roofs.
Slate roofs, and
they're very old.
They are old. This house was 70 years old. This was the original roof. But besides, there were just two spots, one along the flashing on the chimney. That's kind of a little subjective. That kind of needed a little work. But overall, the roof is good. But, on the report side, it's still 70 years old. And yes, these things can last to 100 years. But at that point, you just kind of have to kind of get it out there. Possible need for a roof. And you can't even give it a time frame when it comes to something like that. I mean, there are no leaks. There's nothing there. So it's from my standpoint, it's solid. But from another standpoint, though, it's at some point you're going to have to replace.
And on a slate roof, as opposed to a composition shingle, a lot of times when you spring a leak, it's not where you think it's coming from, right?
It can be 10 feet away.
Right. And that's a mystery to be solved.
Yes.
And sometimes you can't figure it out. You can't solve it. And then you have that water intrusion, infiltration, and then you have more issues.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't walk on a slate roof like you can on a regular roof.
No, you can't. I mean, it's pretty much you just do a really good evaluation through the roof, or I try to get up at least, put the ladder up, at least get up there in front of it. Still use binoculars, and I have a great phone that actually zooms in from a mile away, so I can get some really detailed footage.
We had a house that was the slate roof lasted 100 years. That house in Dunmore, 100 years. But then when they had to get it redone, it was major, major, major.
Yes, it is.
5-6 years ago, it cost $50,000 to do the roof because they wanted a special 50-year architectural. It actually looked like the slate roof. So slate roofs are beautiful and they last forever, but man, when they go, whew.
Yeah,
it's an expense.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So last week we spent most of our discussion, the whole show, on new construction and the importance of having a home inspection, even when you're given a 1-year warranty on the construction, even when there's a home that is a resale home that's not a new construction and has a seller's disclosure that's been completed, that's been very thorough and specific. Still have a home inspection. And on flips, the beauty of the flip home, most buyers want everything done. And when you open that front door and everything's done and it looks all beautiful and it's never been lived in, it's just like, wow. Right. So the tendency is, it's all new. Why do we have to inspect, right?
Well, lots of times, as you would say, it's just lipstick on a pig. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, just, again, this is from a flip. A contractor kind of came in, flipped this house to sell it. And, I kind of come in there, and while it looks great, new deck, new flooring, new paints, and whatnot, the But when you start getting into it, I was up there and looking along the fascia, I found some multiple issues. Number one, the mass beam support for the meter was barely even supported. It was a 2x4 that was furred out, and that wasn't even supported, which led me to kind of take a better look at it. And all the fascia, which was wrapped in aluminum, and you might look at it and say, oh, this looks great. Well, guess what? There's nothing behind the fascia. He bent this thing, and all they had was like nailers in there, and it was barely hanging on. It was a solid piece. There was no soffit or anything else. It was just a vinyl piece of metal that was just molded to conform and just, I think, glued in there. So structurally, it was horrible. It really was. And like I said, it might look good, but until you actually get a set of eyes on there that understand what you're really truly looking for, then you can better see what's behind the scenes.
That's what I was saying. That flip house that I showed that person a couple of weeks ago, they had painted over the rotten wood. And I could tell just by looking at it. And then I touch it. I was like, oh.
I've seen that before.
Oh, they just paint over rotten wood. I mean, it looks okay, but you touch it or you put a screwdriver in it, it's going right through it.
Yep.
And these are problems that are going to come back and bite you.
Okay, so the two deficiencies you mentioned a couple minutes ago were foundation, right?
Yes, and roofing.
Okay, and roofing. What would you say along those lines? What is, as an inspector, your primary concern?
Well, I mean, including both of those, it's really structural. I mean, your top three is really your roof and your foundation and really the structure itself. I mean, I've got a saying I was going to say, if it has good bones type of thing.
Right.
So it's just, that's the whole of it. I mean, besides your, like, the heater, I mean, if it needs to get replaced or your HVAC or whatever, it needs a paint job, some new carpet, that's just all small stuff. That's minor things. I don't really get involved in. I mean, besides the major things, but, I'm not going to write up because it has, a ding in the wall or stain in the carpet or something. It's beyond that. It's just that's irrelevant. Every house has issues, period. It really just kind of is a have good bones. And to me, that's really the foundation, your roof, and structurally is a sound.
Okay. So one of the things that I think is, from a real estate perspective, one of the most important items is the electrical, right? So, on that flip house, there were open junction boxes.
Oh, the wiring was a nightmare.
And so that, to me, means there's more. When I can identify something, because I don't have your background by any means. I've been in and out of a lot of homes, and I probably know more than your average person. But when I see electrical, that scares me.
Yeah.
And that usually tells me that there's more behind that I can't see.
If they're skipping in that aspect when it comes to this, I mean, open boxes, open wiring itself, they're not doing things to code. And if they're not doing that to code, I mean, is the plumbing to code? I mean, what else is not to code?
What's behind the walls, right?
Exactly.
And above the ceiling.
And like I said, it covers a lot. That's why it's always great if you can kind of see what's behind there, what's inside, but a lot of times that you can. So,
but as an inspector, you cannot look into the walls.
Can't look in. It's
only a visual inspection. It's what you can see.
Exactly.
But as we were talking during the break, you were saying you had gone into a bathroom. It was a 32 by 32, and one of the cues for you was that it was a hot mess. What was it?
It was pretty much everything. Kind of walked in to do this job for this lady, and at the end of the day, there was nothing right about this stall. Here was just a shower stall that was put in and a pedestal sink. Nothing worked. The water didn't even run. This guy did the job. The door was crooked. It was unlevel. It was recessed in. None of the seams were even caulked or jointed together with any kind of mullions or anything. So it was just a horrible, horrible construction job. Ended up tearing it all out. Redoing it, I had to do the piping. I found the vent pipe in the wall, not even attached, which is bad, obviously, for multiple reasons. I found a leak in the wall. I used PEX going ahead for the shower. That wasn't even attached. Fittings were loose going into the body itself, the shower body for the feeds. So it's, like I said, and that's behind the wall. And you would have never known that unless because it was such a mess on the outside that you had to tear it out and redo it. But or otherwise, it's just, like I said, there's a lot of shoddy construction out there.
Oh.
And it's really just kind of weeding through and just ensuring that everything is good and what it needs to really truly be. So,
Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
reach your website, www.housestandinghomeinspections.com, or you can reach me. Email is Stephen with a PH at housestandinghomeinspections.com. Phone number 570-251-1052.
Thank you, Stephen. Pat?
Yes, we have a lodge. It's a unique building. It's a 2-level garage. It's at 1704 Roslyn Avenue in Scranton, and it's only $49,000. This building is currently used as storage, so it's a block building with large concrete ramps. So you got a concrete ramp going up to the first floor, and then you got a concrete ramp going into the basement. Now, each level, it's approximately 1,600 square feet. It's got the standard I think it's a standard 7-foot door on it. And this would be perfect for the car collector, or you could keep, Steve, you can keep all your toys here if you want, but you'd have to inspect the building first. And it's got very low taxes of only $900 a year, so that won't break the bank.
I like that.
I do too. That's a large garage. Jackie, did you hear that? I like this garage, okay? Like I liked the one last week too. I like all the garages.
I think you should buy it.
Well, you know what? I grew up in Brooklyn, and we didn't have garages. So when I come up here and I look at a garage, Jackie says, "You have garage envy." I say, "Yes, I do." That's a large garage at 1704 Roslyn Avenue in Scranton for only $49,000, and that's listed by Dan Callahan of our office.
Pat cannot understand how someone could buy a house without a garage.
That's just not right.
No.
I think you should buy it.
I have statistics. I have a lot of statistics. What would you like to hear?
Why I should buy a garage statistics?
No, I don't have those. I don't have those statistics. But I do have, for 2022, I have broken down the median sales price. This is for the entire year of 2022. Lackawanna, Luzerne, Monroe, Pike, Wayne, Wyoming counties, homes that were sold. Median sales price for 2 bedrooms or less was $126,000. 3 bedrooms or less, $185,000 was a median sales price. 4 or more bedrooms, $275,000. Regardless of bedroom count, median sales price for all homes, single-family units sold, $194,000 median sales price. On condos, the median sales price was $240,000. Interesting, right?
Yeah, it sounds like it's up from the previous year.
So the previous year, funny you should say that, 2021, the median sales price was $177,500 on single-family homes, and the median sales price on condos was $210,000. So it is up from 2021.
Yes.
Now, I have the Greater Scranton Board of Realtors multi-list statistics for the last 30 days. Median sales price, Luzerne, Lackawanna, Monroe, Pike, Wayne, Wyoming counties for single-family homes. Median sales price is $183,500. Now, for bedroom count, 2 bedroom or less, median sales price is $145,000. On 3 bedrooms, median sales price is $180,000, and on 4 or more bedrooms, median sales price is $245,000. On condominiums, median sales price is $307,500. How did people pay for these homes over the last 30 days? 36% had cash.
Oh, that's a big number.
That is a big number. 44% were conventional.
44 conventional.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
13% were FHA. 4.3 were VA, and the rest were owner finance, private mortgage, or rural housing mortgages. Interesting info, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's time for a break. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21, Jack Ruddy Real Estate at 94.3 FM. The Talker will be right back. In your past real estate experiences, did you find most agents were mediocre? At Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate, we defy mediocrity by being relentless. Don't settle for average. Contact the Relentless at Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate. We have an excellent track record of serving the community for 50 plus years. Call 570-344-6724 or visit jruddy.com. That's jruddy.com. Thanks for listening to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker. I'm Jackie Ruddy, broker, in with my husband, fellow realtor Pat Devaney.
And we're back.
We're back with Stephen Scott.
Hello.
Hi. How's standing home inspections? Thanks for being with us for 2 weeks in a row.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So we're talking about, home inspections are essential no matter the type of home, new construction, flip, regular single-family residential home. Do you do inspections on multi-unit dwellings?
I haven't yet.
So, would you if someone called you
definitely.
on an investment property, a 2-unit, a 3-unit, a 4-unit?
Yeah, no,
and the price would be different, obviously,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes.
Now, buyers want everything done, and flipped homes, people come in, they redo things, and buyer falls in love with that kitchen and that spotlight bath. Like, those are the things that they're looking at. Oh my gosh, I could see myself living here. Everything is brand new. This is great, turnkey sort of thing. But it's still very important to get a home inspection, especially on a flipped home. And so, what else have you seen as a home inspector going through homes? Not just a flipped home. We talked about in the first half of the show, your primary concerns as a home inspector, what the 3 things are that you really take your time with. Look at the structural, the foundation, and the roof, and they could be, deficient, and why that's important. So talk to me about what else you've come across in the home inspection world.
Well, recently I found this young couple, and like I said, all walks of life. Everyone wants a house, depending whether you're old, it's a second house, first house. You have this kind of young couple's first house, and they're kind of looking at this. And at the end of the day, you evaluate it, and while it has good bones, as I was referred to before, the foundation's good, the roof's good, and whatnot. But you look at this, and you can kind of give them, and they're looking for as from a budgetary standpoint, like what does this house truly need? What is it? And you go in there, and one house I looked at was old. Like I said, it was like 70 years old, and truly almost everything was original. It's from the molding, the trim work, the kitchen, it was actually really kind of, I don't know, funny, but retro. They had this bathroom on the second floor that was completely 50s style retro, and wall-to-wall pink tile, including the ceiling, the sink with stands on it, and even had it was really funny. You ever see the toothbrush kind of cup and holder? It's built into the wall, but it flips. It's circular type of thing.
Yeah.
It even had
My
that
mother
built
has
in.
one, yeah.
All right, so it's and it has all this. So while everything is functional, and it actually looked good, I was amazing the condition of this house being 7 years old. It truly was.
And it's solid.
It's solid. It's just, but at the end of the day, though, you look at this, and those are the kind of things that you kind of need to sit back and kind of talk to. Okay, here's a great house, whatever, but okay, well, I'm definitely going to need, obviously, all the trim work and tear out this wall. I'm going to need, new cabinets, new kitchen, new bathroom. So while it's all functional, it's just, one of those discussion things that, people kind of need to have within themselves as far as, what they want to do. It's, I can give them my point of view, but at the end of the day, it's everyone's decision.
Well, good news, and I hope they listen to the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate on 94.3 FM The Talker, because we had an interior designer here, Fraser, a couple weeks back, and he said retro was in.
It's in.
It's in.
Nice.
It is the thing.
It is.
People pay, if you go to, there's an apartment in New York City that they restored to what it was 100 years ago, and they paid huge money for these people to live in an apartment that was from 100 years ago. I don't get it, but with the old stove and the kitchen and the old bathroom, but some people think that is it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. Also, I found down there, besides the old retro turntable in the living room with the side speakers, the console style. I would love to have that. I don't know what they were doing with it, but I would love to have that.
Our son is 17 years old. Do you know what he asked for his birthday and Christmas?
Turntable?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not? Hey, vinyl's back.
And
It is.
And he shops the classics, the used albums. That's where we were shopping. But go ahead.
And one of the things I found in the basement actually was this old stove, and it was working. I tested everything out. It was this old. I had it been back from the 50s, and again, it was like some sort of like olive green and cream color stove, but everything was functional. The burners, the oven. It was a dual oven. It was a massive stove. This thing had been like 4.5 feet wide, but again, functional. It was just a very old school house, but solid. I gotta say, it was, I love finding the interesting things.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Sewing machines, not so much. Everybody has a sewing.
Everybody's got a sewing machine.
Yeah,
but the
those stoves.
that are like that are in functioning condition are worth some money
And
to
how
the
about
right
the
people.
claw foot tubs?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I was on the second floor too.
yeah.
So.
Okay, Stephen, we're wrapping up the show. Do you have any advice for people that are looking to sell their home, list their home and sell it?
Yeah. I would say it's actually a really great opportunity to actually do a pre-listing inspection.
Is that as extensive as an inspection that you would do for a buyer?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. But what that'll do is actually give you, as from a selling standpoint, a better idea of truly what your house is worth before going on the market. You get a better idea and
where your weaknesses are, where your strengths are, what you can get ahead of.
Yeah,
so that you're not
and some things that are
on,
fixable.
Right.
And you can go there and kind of like hit those low hanging fruit, whatever. And as far as my recommendation standpoint, like, hey, listen, it's like do this, this, and this. Here's some of your issues. Here's some of the things maybe you wanted to talk about as far as negotiations aspect, or here's some of the things that you can take care of now, and all these will help maximize what your selling point is. Trying to maximize your hot top dollar that you want to get for your house. And plus, also, if everyone is aware beforehand of any issues, then it kind of takes a lot of the negotiation kind of like out of the whole aspect, because you're aware of it. Here I had a guy come through, here's his report, you can show it. He's a pre-listing. Here's where we stand. Here's exactly what's wrong. It's only this, or maybe nothing, or, at least that way. And if you know some of the smaller things, you can address those beforehand, which is going to help you overall. And at least that way, there's no hiccups because, as a realtor, you're going to get in there and inspector comes in and they find, okay, well, here's an issue here, here, and here. And now that's going to be holding up the sale. Now you're losing time, could disturb what the rate is you're actually getting on it or anything else, or you could possibly lose a sale. So at least this kind of helps as far as the whole negotiation and price aspect. I think it kind of moves things along a bit better, just going with that pre-listing.
Well, from a real estate perspective, from the realtor's perspective, it's a good idea if they do that pre-listing inspection and they go ahead and fix and repair and do all that with the items that are found, that they also make sure they get paid invoices. So when they give that home inspection report to the buyer to review prior to them making an offer, along with a completed seller's disclosure and the items that they repaired and fixed, they also have the receipts. Who the person was that did it, that they're a qualified professional, and their contact information, and that it was done and repaired correctly and what they paid, so that the buyer understands that they took care of it.
Exactly.
Back it up in writing, right?
Yeah. Right, because how many times you go into a deal and they find things in the inspection, and then it really, people want to use it. Really screws things up.
Exactly. And why go through the entire process, wasting a lot of time and money, when, maybe some of the things you can do, you have an inspection done, you find some issues, maybe you take it and don't put it on the market for like another month, and you take care of everything from that point, and then move forward.
Good advice, Stephen Scott, owner of House Standing Home Inspections. How does someone get in touch with you, please?
You can reach me. My email is Stephen with a PH, STEPHEN at housestandinghomeinspections.com. Phone number 570-251-1052.
Pat, would you like to review a listing? Thanks, Stephen, for your time 2 weeks in a row.
Thank you very much for you. Love being here.
Yes, we have a beautiful 4-bedroom, 2-bath Victorian-style home at 121 Wagner Street in Music for $260,000. This home sits on a 1/4 acre of land and has low taxes of only $1,500 a year. It has a new kitchen, new drywall throughout the home, and new windows. This 2,100 square foot home has hardwood floors and new flooring. It has hardwood floors on the first floor and new flooring in the bedrooms. along with beautifully remodeled bathrooms and a new roof. There's plenty of off-street parking and a large attic for storage. That's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath Victorian-style home with a new kitchen and baths at 121 Wagner Street in Music for $260,000, and that's listed by James Caceres of our office.
Remember to join us next Saturday at 11 a.m., Sunday at 11:30 a.m. to listen to more of the Real Estate Roundtable with Century 21 Jack Ruddy Real Estate and 94.3 The Talker.